Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything USA. So, as you know, on my blog, I share how I made my fortune in real estate. I've been investing since I was 19 years old. So, you know what? I've been telling you guys I'm going to change the format of the channel here and try to get things fixed up and kind of go to more of what some of the topics you want to talk about. Of course, everybody loves talking about the fake gurus and, of course, making money, which is my favorite subject, is making money. Some of you know I'm a big fan of Ben Mallah. And, I think Ben Jr. really did well. I got a video I just released, and he did a great job. And I actually just closed a commercial center myself last week, 17,800 square feet. It was about half the price of the one that Ben just purchased himself. And we'll talk about that, talk about some other stuff. I'm going to talk about this guy here, this guy right here. I think Grant Cardone will say anything for $1. But we're going to talk about that. All right. So some of you know I've made some videos on Grant Cardone. In fact, I made one not too long ago talking about how much money I would have lost, or really just about what anybody would have lost, had they listened to Grant Cardone as advice. And I'm going to show you which one I'm talking about here. Yeah, this one right here. Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything USA. So on my blog, I share how I made my fortune. Let me kill that. So anyway, look, this is a Grant Cardone video, and this is a video I did a couple weeks ago, right? I want you to see this. Okay, this goes back to January 2012 all the way here to 2018. But see, we're kind of flatlined in here pretty much. So back in 2020, 2019, this is when Grant was telling people, sell your home, cash is trash, get rid of your house. The best investment there is apartments, right? Well, now he's got himself in a lawsuit, and he's not soliciting money for the apartments anymore. But instead, all of a sudden, he's changed his gears to houses. So here's what's so funny is in 2019, 2020, you see right here on the graph, this is when he was telling everybody, sell your house, get rid of your house. And had you done so, if you owned a house that was worth about $400,000, you would have lost $200,000. And so I just find it somewhat appalling, to be quite honest, to hear him talk about housing and you need to get in on it, okay? And because this is so contrary to what he's preached in the past, but he's like a politician. He doesn't think anybody remembers what he said 6 months ago, a year ago, and it's just unbelievable. So I thought we'd just go back and jump back a little bit, and you can kind of see, how conflicting and contradictory it is, because it really frustrates me when I see people just ill-advise people and just carelessly advise people. Today, in all honesty, I did the video on Ben Mallah, by the way, last week. It's just released this morning. I urge you to watch it. Ben Jr. was doing a great job. He was kind of just diagnosing a $5.2 million strip center. You guys know I buy strip centers and offices, and not so much office right now, but I buy industrial offices and all kinds of real estate of all kinds. I've owned apartment buildings, everything else too. But anyway, so let's watch a little bit of this Grant Cardone. I've got it sped up a little bit, and let's see what he's going to talk about here, and then we'll, let's do that. Let's just start here.
Real estate investor friends out there around the world, I want to tell you that we're about to enter a real estate super cycle. I've said this a number of times over the last 3 years. I'm more convinced today of it than I was even 3 years ago.
You know what? I don't ever recall him talking about a real estate super cycle. What I hear him talking about is get rid of your real estate. It's, that there's nothing better than the apartment buildings and just pushing it, sell your house, send me your money, invest with me. That's all I've ever heard him say in the past primarily. And let's just jump over here real quick just to take a look. Okay, this is when I did a video on him on Vlad. Let's just listen to this now.
So it doesn't mean you need it doesn't mean you need to live in the same dumb place for 30 years. So it'd be like buying a car for 30 years. We're moving into an environment where people are going to own nothing. People are going to rent clothes. Yeah. They're going to rent furniture. They're going to rent cars. We're not going to own cars. It's already happening where people.
So I'm going to jump ahead here and just see where we take an excerpt here. So listen to this. This is the kind of stuff this guy says. It just drives me nuts. Can you guys hear it? I did a video on that one.
What are you doing? Okay, I never buy this junk. I got all this stuff. I got the cars. I got the Rollie. We got the dumb truck. The dumb truck.
Hey, what rhymes with dumb truck? Dumb.
Not the dump truck.
So what did he just say? Again, we got to play that back. What are you doing buying all this dumb stuff? I never buy this stuff. I got all this stuff.
What are you doing? Okay, I never buy this junk. I got all this stuff.
What are you doing buying all this stuff? I got all this stuff.
What are you doing? Okay, I never buy this junk. I got all this stuff.
Did he say he never does this stuff? I got all this stuff?
What are you doing? Okay, I never buy this junk. I got all this stuff.
Okay, so where I'm going with this is the guy will say anything. I mean, he just thinks anything that comes out of his mouth is gold. And of course, some people are dumb enough to believe it. But anyways, so that's 615,000, less than 2 years later. Okay, now let's go back to Google Earth because I want to show you very specifically. I've been buying homes my whole life. I own this home, this home, this home, this home. I sold this house here already, and I sold this house here. So let's go down to the street. Let's go walk the street here, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So look, what I'm doing is I'm walking you through a neighborhood. I've bought probably 20 homes in this area, not just in this subdivision, probably 7 homes right here. But this worked as a good example because these are homes that I'm selling right now, and I'm going back to the time I knew what they were worth because I sold one about 2 years ago, I think 445 or 450, and now they're worth 650, 700,000. Just sold one for 575. I couldn't have sold for 440 the year before. But the point being is, okay, the one I just gave you the numbers on, that's this house here. Now I paid $129,000 for this house, as I remember, and I just sold it for $575,000. About okay, so and this might seem a little clumsy here what I'm doing, but so at the time when he was saying sell your home, get rid of your home, that's right about here. Okay, at the end of this little flat line, I'll call this a flat line, before it went up about $200,000, and so it's this irresponsible advising or just ill advising, and then again to hear him all of a sudden start talking about the super cycle. So anyhow, let's go back to the super cycle and see what he's got to say now.
And we've seen unbelievable price appreciation in the last 3 years. With that being said, I'm telling you.
So he's seen unbelievable price appreciation in the last 3 years. Okay. Why was he telling everybody to sell their stuff over the last 3 years? Does that make any sense to anybody? He's telling people to sell his stuff. Just watch his videos. You know, he's saying, sell your stuff, sell it.
I'm confident that my premonitions 3 years ago, based on what was going on in the market, us shopping from California to the Northeast, all the way down to Miami, Florida, where I am today, there is a super cycle, and I want to be sure you can take advantage of it. I'm going to be doing a webinar, free webinar, if you want to learn the game of real estate. I started with $3,000 30 years ago. We have $2.5 billion worth of real estate today.
Folks, I'm telling you, I know he owns a lot of real estate, but he bought it by enticing other people to bring in their money. He buys property with other people's money, and then he makes the difference on the borrowed money. Okay, I don't think Grant Cardone actually is a good investor. I think he's a terrible investor. But let's keep watching.
Apartments, office buildings, 9,000 apartment units that pay on average, about $2,100 a month. So whether you get involved in that or not in the webinar, you need to learn this game. This real asset game is not going to change. We're seeing appreciation across markets worldwide, from Singapore to Cincinnati. Those real estate appreciations will not stop. You got to understand that every country.
And they're going to stop, folks. They're going to level off and then peter down. We're having an artificial escalation in property values right now. That the only reason we're having it right now is because of the pandemic. The shortage of inventory is what's driving the market up. And that's why I tell people right now, if you got anything you want to sell or you planned on selling in the next, 2 to 5 years, sell it right now. As soon as all this forbearance stuff comes on the market, this stuff is going to be going down. I mean, it's going to level off, and then it's just going to peter down. So, but the interest rate's great. That's one of the reasons also things are selling. Every time the interest rate goes down low, things sell for much higher than they would if the interest rates are high. And the reason is the masses are the asses. This is what happened. People will pay a premium because they're not how much, they're how much a month, and it's not the way to buy. But let's keep listening.
Country on planet Earth since COVID went on a massive production of cash, producing tremendous amounts of dollars and pounds or whatever dollar amount, however Canada did it, America did it, the UK did it, Australia printed, China printed, you name it. If it's a country, they printed cash in order to get over COVID or through COVID. In doing that, what happens is real assets appreciate because abundant amounts of cash seek places, safe harbors, places where it can go and produce something. What's happening today is you see this in stocks, stock valuations going up despite some of these industries have been completely shut down. Many of these.
Listen, we've been printing cash and giving it away. And Gabriel, no, he's not worth $2 billion. See, this is the kind of nonsense people buy into. Gabriel's in here saying, why are you hating on this guy? He's worth $2 billion. No, he's not. Anyways, let's keep watching.
Companies are losing money, yet their stock prices are hitting historic highs. You see it in all the cryptos, from Bitcoin to Doge to Ethereum to Moonshot.
Crypto's going up and down, and that's one of the things. I can tell you, cryptocurrency, I'm telling you, it's one thing. Don't confuse it with blockchain. Blockchain technology is, of course, definitely a future with all that. But cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, it's shit. It's garbage. I mean, it goes up because Tesla buys some, and then as soon as he said he doesn't deny that he sold it off, it goes to shit. It goes back down again. You can't base your livelihood on the whim of they call it the greater fool syndrome. The only thing that makes it worth more is that there's a greater fool behind you that will pay more for it, and you can bet on it to a degree. And if you got big bucks like Tesla, you can influence the market. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, agreed, Rob. Anyways, let's keep watching.
Like literally names of cryptos popping up right now because people that have cash are not trusting that cash will be worth more in the future. Real assets, the real, I'm talking about real estate that produces cash flow and appreciates over long terms and also provides you as an investor with great places to reduce your tax bills.
No, I agree with him on that. That is true. Real estate does give you a lot of tax breaks, and it is a great place. You got to buy the right stuff, and you got to buy it. You got to buy it right. You don't need a partner. I can tell you right now, you don't need Grant as your partner, but you do need to buy it right.
Will be the ultimate winner in this cycle. There's going to be a super cycle, ladies and gentlemen. This could last decades. Apartments, particularly multifamily apartments, and all assets, all commercial real estate that produces stable cash flow going forward will be the winners. I work with companies, some of the biggest companies in the world. I bought from the Blackstones and the Goldmans and the JPs and the Morgan Stanleys, the Fannies and the Freddie Macs.
You know, it'd be great. Why don't you bring some testimonials on, Grant? I'd love to see your testimonials. You got 3,200 investors I've heard about. Now, I know about the lawsuits, but I'd sure love to see these testimonials from the people you've made so much money for. That would be impressive, just to see a testimonial. I think I have probably 4 times more testimonials, and I don't only know maybe one that you have, and I think that guy works for you. I'm telling you, I have independent testimonials, and I've only been mentoring people and had a book out for like a year. That's it, just a little over a year. And I've got more testimonials than a guy that's been preaching this stuff for 10 years that has 3,200 investors, at least by what I've seen him claim. Show us some testimonials. Show us some of these people that you've made money for, because the only ones I read about are the ones that are engaged in a lawsuit right now.
I've done business with the State Farms and the Allstates and the New York Life, the MetLifes. These people all do what they can to buy assets, hard, solid assets, so that they can produce cash flow that they can distribute then dividends to their investors. I want to show you how to play this game. I cannot buy all the real estate. People are like, why would you do this for people? Because you're not competition to me if you're buying real estate in Cincinnati and I'm in Miami.
Yeah, well, if you're buying the real estate and Grant gets to be your partner, he's using your money to buy real estate. Of course, it's a good deal. Listen, I could make terrible investments with other people's money, but if it's other people's money, I can hold it indefinitely. Because as soon as you hand your money over to somebody else for a fund, then they have control. Your money's gone. You can't borrow against it. It's gone. It's sitting there until the guy that holds the reins cuts you loose. And there's really no incentive to do so. Just keep you in it until it's paid off. You're an old gray man, but I've done this 3,200 times maybe, right? With other people's money, I'm splitting everybody else's profit, or I'm making the difference on the borrowed money and giving you the return that's comparable to what maybe I pay a bank. So anyways, look, I'm not a big fan of Grant Cardone, obviously. I've seen his terrible advice. I've seen him say ridiculous things. And here's the first impression I got from Grant Cardone. See if this pops up.
You got a good attitude, you ain't a little bitch. You ain't a little baby, you ain't cry baby, you ain't stupid baby, you ain't dumb. I need more money, I gotta buy Rolex.
Yeah, that's real executive material there, right? Anyways, let's keep watching.
You're not competing with me if you're buying real estate in Atlanta and I'm buying real estate in Savannah. You see, those are two different markets. If you're in Dallas, Texas, and I'm in Houston, you're not competition to me. So I would like to help you learn how to play this game, because somebody is going to play the game. They're playing the game now, and they're buying assets for their families and their companies to take care of them for a lifetime. Real estate changed my lifestyle, changed my family security, and it changed literally the legacy I can leave on this planet. Okay, the amount of units that we own today. And if you can scale your business, and I'll be sharing with you in the webinar, if you're starting with no money, no debt, and no understanding, I will simplify this game so that you can start not where
Well, what I wonder is, why isn't he soliciting people to invest with him? Because that's what he did all last year. Now, he might have his hands tied. He may not even be able to do it anymore because of the lawsuits. I don't know the details on that, but I know that everything he was pushing was sell your home, get in these assets. You need to buy like an enormous building that I know you can't buy by yourself, but you can if you invest with Cardone Capital. That used to be his spiel.
I started, because I started with no information and $3,000. Anybody can pull together $3,000 to buy a piece of real estate. You got to know what you're looking for, where it is, how to get debt on it, because you do want debt. This is good debt, not bad debt. I won't be talking about flipping homes, even though we'll be touching on it. I'll be bringing some people in that are spectacular at flipping homes. But I'll be showing you no money down deals. I'll be showing you how to get debt. I'll show you how to underwrite. I will show you exactly what you're looking for in your market, other than just how to flip. Because
I would love to see a deal that he's done no money down. And listen, I've done it. But I think he has extremely limited experience in teaching people starting with zero, making money in real estate. My understanding with Grant, and I may be wrong, but my understanding is that he's a talented speaker, he's a good author, he's a good motivator, and I give him credit for all that stuff. This 10-time stuff, I know people believe in, everybody says, look, hunker down and work hard. That's always a good one. I mean, and it's good advice. It is, of course. But when he started extrapolating that experience into I'm a great investor, he lost me. Okay.
Look, let's face it, flipping a home is basically just another sales job. You go out and buy a bicycle, you want to turn it on the internet.
Yeah, I've got hang on. In fairness, I've got this sped up a little bit, okay? I speed it up so we can get through it. I have a hard time listening to it at regular speed. But so that's not great.
Pick up $200, that's work. I got to find the bike, I got to turn the bike, I got to list the bike, classify ads to the bike, I got to do all that in order to maybe make $200 on a bike. I'm going to show you how to play the game of real estate where you buy something, and rather than flipping it, you produce cash flow with it, you get a good loan on it, you improve the assets' ability to produce cash flow. 32 units, I'll give you a little math, it's really, really cool. 32 units, if I can increase...
I love it when he does math, because he almost always screws it up.
The rents on 32 units, if I could possibly find 32 units in your marketplace, I'll show you how to do it with the money, whether you have a restriction on cash or you have the cash. First, you got to find it, then you'll have to get debt on it. I'll show you all that. But first, you got to find the deal, okay? If you could possibly find a 32-unit deal in your marketplace, I'm not looking at those, that was under rented by $200 a month, meaning the rents are $700, but they should be $900. If you did nothing except buy that deal and control that deal and could figure out how to raise the rents $200, you would produce a new $1 million worth of value by simply increasing the rents $200 on a building that was under rented, because possibly the owner has had it for 25 or 30 years and their cost basis is zero.
Yeah, so he does. He increases the rent $200 a month per unit times 32 gives you $6,400 a month times 12. That's 6 times 12, 72 plus 4. Roughly brings in almost about $80,000 more a year. It actually would increase it more than $1 million by generally what cap rates are received by today. But that's really easy. Hey, I'll tell you how to make money. Buy something that's renting for $700 and jack the rents up to $900. Wow, it's easy, right?
Nothing. And if they get $700 a month, it's all net 1,000% gain cash flow for them, right? Because maybe they bought it for $15,000 30 years ago. The whole property. They stole it. Maybe their market was having some kind of problem, and they basically paid nothing for it. $40,000, $50,000, whatever, $100,000 for 32 units. And it's renting for $700. They paid it off like 3 times already. And all it is positive cash flow for them. So Sam Satisfied, Mr. Sam Satisfied is like, I hate managing the building, but it pays me so much cash flow. I don't want to change the rents because I don't want to manage the building, because I don't have to turn the tenants, because I don't have to take the calls, because I don't want to run the ads. I don't want to work, and it's already doing me well. So I'm going to show you how to find that building in your marketplace and actually buy that from the seller with no money. I'll show you how to do it with a traditional loan. I'll show you how to go recapitalize the building and get a new loan on it after you bought it. And
I don't think he's going to show us in this video. I think he's going to say links below, send you to his salespeople.
actually take money out of the deal, own it with no cash, take money out of the deal, get a long-term loan on it, and still going to provide you and your family with cash flow. So look, whether you understand exactly everything I'm sharing with you right now or not, real estate, I'm not talking about a job here. I'm talking about learning how to be an investor, how to invest in real estate, how to find a deal in your marketplace that could literally make your family millions of dollars. But first, protect your cash. 2, provide you with cash flow. And 3, appreciate in the future because of either the future inflation is coming or because you can increase the cash flow of the property, or both. Okay. Hope you join me. Hit the link below. It's a completely free webinar. I will share with you everything I know about the real estate game, how to find it, how to buy it, how to manage it, how to get debt on it, and how to increase the value of that property. Hope to see you then.
So any of you that believe him, go do it. Go do it, okay? I can tell you something. I've been buying real estate for 40 years. I started at 19 years old. First building I bought was 6,000 square feet. I had long hair down to here, and I got it owner financed. And I say nothing down. It wasn't nothing down. I put $10,000 down, but what I got was I got 6 months escrow. I got a 6 months escrow so I could move into the building. I had the rights to the building, and after 6 months of not paying rent, there's my 10 grand. I put the money down. Somebody offered me 20,000 more. Eyes got big as saucers, realized, yeah, this is where the money is in real estate. I'm self-taught. I did not have a mentor, but guess what? I do mentor people. And I've actually got my first student that has become a millionaire in 1 year of taking my course. And I'm not saying, obviously, that's not typical for everyone, but it's real. It is something that can happen. And it's awesome. But I started with zero, okay? I took 5 grand, made 5 grand, then 10 grand, then 20 grand, then 40 grand, then 50, then hundreds of thousands, then even millions of dollars. Okay, this is over a period of time and a period of years. And guess what? I did it without partners. I didn't hand my money to somebody else so I could split the profit. Now, in the beginning, I had to grab partners. I didn't have money, but the deal is everything. And look, also, by the way, if you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. I guarantee you, you'll learn more from me than anybody else on YouTube. Nobody has my experience that I've seen. I'm sure there's guys that are out there that have my experience that aren't boasting about it maybe. But so I came out with the book. This is my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's been a bestseller on Amazon and Kindle and Audible. You can get it there. You can go read or watch the first 3 chapters, I think, for free. I think you even send it back if you don't like it, okay, at Amazon. I've got tons of great reviews. People that have been doing in the business for 20, 30, 40 years say they learned something from me. I'm talking about people that have been in the business for a long time. When you live and breathe it like I have, it's simple. But the kind of information and the advice that I can give you is so much more important than somebody that's just simply parlaying the profits from seminars and putting it in money. Is different. My money comes from making money on real estate, and I take you through all that stuff. In fact, let's jump back over to that other video I was just telling you about. Where is that? Yeah, right here. So in this other video here, and you can see it on my channel, I basically walk you through, and you know what, let's do this. Check this out. You'll like this. Let's go to Google Earth. So here's Google Earth, okay? Now here's a property. Okay, here's a property right here. Let's go look at this one right here. Okay, this is really a good example. Okay, so here is, okay, let's go back this way. Okay. Now, you can get rich fast or you can get rich slow. I mean, either way is okay. When I say slow, I'm talking, 10 years, 20 years. But I bought this house right here. This is what I'm actually selling this month. I bought that for $129,000. Okay, I'm going to sell, I expect that to sell for almost $700,000 this month. Okay, and now some of these I've held 15 years. This house you see right here, I own that one too. I just sold this one last month, $575,000. I think I paid $139,000 for that one. Okay, so there's another 400 grand. Don't forget, people paid me rent all during this time. Okay, this one here, still own this one here. It's probably worth about $800,000. Okay, so there's one, and then actually there's another one. I own the one next door to this one too, by the way. Let me get back where I can show you this stuff. So look, the point is, there's nothing worse, and I'm almost infuriated watching Grant talk about this stuff, because there's nothing worse than taking somebody's seed capital. And, I just think about some poor schmuck that would have sold his house last year or the year before and missed out on making $100,000 or $200,000, or if they'd taken that money too and threw it in one of Grant's funds that are now tied up in lawsuits. Some of them are. You can verify that for yourself. I don't know the exact details. I've seen some of the transcripts, but and here's another house. This one here, I sold this one 2 years ago. Paid $179,000. I sold it for $390,000. So another $200,000 right there. But what you'll find out is that nobody cares about you making money more than you. Okay, you can't trust a realtor that's going to take a commission from you. You can't take a snake oil salesman that's asking you to send him your money to invest with you so he can split the profit on whatever he makes with your money. You got no control. You got to take control. Listen, the idea that somebody's going to put their arm around you and say, "Hey, buddy, let me show you how to make money for free," it's not going to happen. But I would never have, I wish I had a mentor. I didn't have a mentor. I had to learn everything the hard way. In fact, one of the reasons I do appreciate a mentor is that I'm in jiu-jitsu. I've been in jiu-jitsu now for 3 years, become pretty accomplished in jiu-jitsu. And it would have never happened without a teacher. I could have never learned it just from somebody, from just reading about it, right? It would never have happened. You develop skills when you got somebody to correct you, know what you're doing. Yeah. Okay, here, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, okay, let's talk about me, Kevin, here. I'm going to jump away from this for a bit. So the format, I plan on doing Fake Guru Friday, and we're going to talk about fake gurus. We're also going to talk about the real deals. If you like, say, if Ben Mallah, who I just did a video on, it was actually Ben Jr. I tell you, I recommend you watch that. Ben Jr., just by osmosis, he has done, he's learned a lot from his dad. I've got 2 boys. This is a video I just did, and I'm not going to play it because you can watch this one on yourself. But basically go through here, and Ben's taking you through a strip center, which I can actually show you a strip center that I just bought as well. But it's nice. He kind of takes you through some of the things that you need to know about when you go buy a building like that. But there's a lot of different things, and I love commercial property. To me, commercial is where you want to ultimately get to. And listen, people tell you, if you listen to Grant, forget it. I ain't going to repeat what Grant said about commercial property. You don't know what he's talking about, anyways. But when it comes to commercial property, it's a wonderful thing because the tenants don't hold over. When somebody goes out of business, they leave. They're gone. They're not going to stay there. It's not like a home or an apartment or a house where they just stay there endlessly and they never leave because they don't have a job or they can't pay. Like right now, there's people in forbearance on their mortgages because the tenants won't leave, and the government is preventing them from kicking the people out. That's why we got this big bubble in real estate. It's not truly a growth bubble. It's a shortage. There's no inventory. So if you got property you want to get rid of it now. Make some money on it. Now, I'm not saying it won't go up a little bit before it starts to go down again, but I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. And if you get a chance, I got an old buddy of mine, Doug. I did a video called Old Guys Rule. We talk about our experience over the last 40 years. He's got even more experience than me. He's been doing it for almost 50 years. But we've seen a lot of things. We've seen $9 million buildings sell for $2 million. I bought about a $2 million apartment complex, and I bought it for $340,000. Bought it for $10,000 a unit. I sold it for $55,000 a unit. If you live long enough, you see stuff you just can't believe, and you can see values go to hell. And that's why I always tell everybody, when you learn from me, is you buy under market, and you can speculate if you want. But my idea of speculation is I buy prime commercial properties that I know will stay rented. I also like schools, because Amazon can't kill a school, right? You can't order it online. I like, services, barbers, nail salons, all those. And some of those people got hurt from COVID, but that's no big deal. It's fantastic. And the resilience of self-employed people. Let me tell you, when you're self-employed, like right now, we have a shortage of employees right now because the government's pushed out so much damn stimulus. There's people that are making $3,200 a month on stimulus that otherwise would be making $1,600 if they had a job. Well, they don't want the job. The job Why take a job when you get paid twice as much to stay home? So it's really screwing business up too, because I got all kinds of businesses that rent from me. I got 150,000 square feet of rentals, and in my rentals, my tenants, I say, how's it going? They go, well, it's great if I get an employee. They said they'd rather take the stimulus than come back to work. And I'm telling you, don't be one of those lazy-ass millennials or Generation Z. Believe me, Generation Z, that's Generation Zero. You're getting buried in debt right now. And instead of taking the easy money, what you should be doing is getting your ass in gear and get some skills and start working and take that job, because the stimulus is going to go away, but you'll still have a job. But if you wait, while you're waiting, somebody else is taking what could be your job, and you're gonna screw yourself. I guarantee you're gonna screw yourself. So hey, hit that subscribe button. Please like and subscribe. Comment whether you like what I say or not. Disagree with me, bring it on. We'll go live. I got a phone here too. We can go live on the call. I'll talk to anybody about anything. And what I don't know, I don't mind saying I don't know, but I can tell you right now, I've been doing this for a long time, and I know, it's like the old shit from Shinola. Some people don't know shit from Shinola. If you remember that old, from The Jerk, the old movie The Jerk, there's a great scene in there where the guy says, look, son, this is shit. This is Shinola. Just want him to know the difference between the two. And he says, okay, got it, Dad. And then he takes a step into a big pile of shit. And unfortunately, that's what happens all the time. So let's see. What was I going to do? Sorry, jumping around. Hey, so let's talk about, hey, look at over here, meet Kevin, right? Now, I'll tell you what. I want to tell you right now. You guys know that I'm not a huge fan of Meet Kevin's investing. I don't think he's a particularly good investor. I think he was a good real estate agent from what I described, but I'll tell you what, he is a hustling son of a gun. He is a hard-working guy, and he's actually running for governor. I don't know if that's a joke or not, because he's talking about moving to Florida at the same time, but I'll tell you what, I'd take him any day over what's out there, of course, I take an 8-year-old over what's out there right now, but nothing against Kevin. I think Kevin is really an awesome YouTuber, and you can learn a lot from Kevin. Let me see. No, I've had enough of that guy. Okay, this is that's the one. That's the due diligence. He's talking about Dogcoin. Listen, Dogcoin is garbage. I'm telling you, don't get dragged into that. Sure, there's some people that are going to make a fortune, but way more people are going to lose their ass. Don't try to get rich quick, folks. I can show you right now, with $30,000, yeah, I could have thrown it in Bitcoin, and if I held it, it would have gone way up, and I could say I'm a superstar. But the fact is, I'll take 30 grand, and I'll go, I'll leverage that into, say 150, or let me just show you. I'll just put my money where my mouth is, and I'll just show you. So let me just show you. So in this neighborhood here, I'll just jump back out of here. In the end of this video, if you watch this is a video where it's Grant Cardone being interviewed by Vlad, and I'm talking about if I took his advice, in this neighborhood right here, I made $2.8 million in a very short amount of time. But let me jump you over to something I just bought the other day. Let's see. Yeah, let me scoot this over just a little bit. Okay. And what's cool about this is a little commercial center that I just bought. Well, that is not it. What happened here? Hang on. It must be down the street from here. Let's see. Well, let's see what happened here. Valley Palm? I don't know. Anyways, let's see if that isn't it. Well, see, look I just bought this thing, and now I'm not. Oh, there it is. Oh, man, we got lucky. All right, so check this out. This is a building I just bought. Now, this little strip center, you see it? Look, here's one here, here's one here. They're all over the place. They're money makers. That's why Ben Mallah buys them. That's why I buy them. They're fantastic. Okay, I just trimmed the shit out of these trees yesterday too, which I got a really nice video coming out. By the way, if you guys haven't seen, I hired a new crew. I hired a new crew. In other words, I fired myself, and I hired some people that know what they're doing in the studio here. This is the live stuff, so you never know what you're going to get with me doing live. But this is a strip center that I just bought. And now look, first thing I did, you can tell this is a poorly managed property. And let me explain why. all these trees, look at this, all this growth hanging down. You can't see the damn building. You can't see the sign. Listen, I'll cut trees off. I'll cut them off way down here so you can see above them. But in this situation, I just need to raise the umbrella, right? You know how an umbrella's closed, it's down, right? You raise it. Well, that's what you do with trees on your commercial property. So all these trees right now, you can see all this is cut out way up high so you can see the entire building. It's a beautiful thing because I'm going to be raising the rents on these folks. The rents were under market, and also the property is in disrepair. Wait until you see this video. See this post, this light post? This thing was sitting here waving back and forth, just waiting to fall down and probably kill somebody or crush a car. Took care of that. But look at the mix in here. I got a animal clinic. I got a palateria, which if you guys don't know what that is, which this is new to me, it's a popsicle shop, Mexican popsicle shop. Over here, I've got, I don't know, hair salon, some sort of nurse training. We got a couple of loan companies in here. I can't tell you what's over here because I can't see it, but I know I've got a martial artist in here. Got a vape studio. Those are kind of the staples that you have in commercial property. And I love industrial property too. In fact, I'm buying another one right now. I'm buying an industrial building almost as big as this one. I think it's 16,000 square feet. And that's a beautiful deal too. And let's talk about the money. Okay. I always like to talk about money, and I like to talk about real deals. That's something that I don't see Grant Cardone doing. I don't see Chris Crone doing it. I don't see a lot of guys that are full of crap doing it because listen, if you can't back up your talk, I mean, Chris Crone says he's got 200 real estate experts. I doubt he's got 3 people, and they're not experts. They probably make $15 an hour answering the phone, and they're going to advise you. I don't think so. It's okay to be, it's just over exaggerating, right? I mean, listen, it doesn't make sense to say you've done thousands of deals and not have hundreds of testimonials or 10 testimonials or maybe 5 testimonials. I mean, it's common sense, which most people do not have. It's sad but true. So anyways, but this is my latest acquisition. Let's see. And like I say, these are a beautiful thing. You check the roof. All the stuff you do, you make sure, and I'm getting into this. We got a beautiful thing going out tomorrow. You'll see it if you watch it. But it's similar to the same checklist. I cover a few things, or I covered a few voids I thought that Ben Mallah didn't quite cover, Ben Mallah Jr. on this case, but they did a good job, and they talk about the money. Money's the most important thing, and so let me give you the quick math on this. This building's worth a little over $3 million. I paid $2.7 million for it. I put, what did I put? I put $1.3 million, $1.4 million. I can't remember. I think I put $1.3 million. I'm buying a lot of stuff right now, so I got a lot of stuff running in and out. I think I put $1.3 million. We'll just use that for an example. Let's just say I put $1 million. I paid $500,000. I put $1.3 million down on it. So on the $1.3 million, I'm going to get currently 6%. It's going to go to 7%. Let's just say 6% for now. So 6% on $1.3 million. We got 60 and 18. That's $78,000. So I get $78,000 a year on my $1.35 million, on my $1.3 million. Okay. Now on the other half that I borrowed, I'm also going to get another. I'm going to get another. Whatever did I say? What did I say? What did I say? Yeah. What was the total? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So, anyways, I'm got 6% on the. I got help now too, but on the $1.3 million, say 6%. So that's 60 and 18. That's $78,000 a year on my cash. That's my cash. Okay, now I'm borrowing money at 3.5%. So on the other $1.3 million, I'm gonna get the same amount. I'm gonna get $78,000 less 3.5%, because that's what the cost of the borrowed money is. I'm borrowing money at 3.5%. So 3.5% on $1.3 million, so that would be sounds like 10 and 35, so 45,000. So 45,000 from 78. So I'm picking up another 33,000. So I'm going to make 33,000 plus the 78. Sounds like 111,000. So now I've got $111,000 a year income coming from this property. It's a nice return, right? Now, I also have the ability, I can pull another 500,000 out of this And now when I pull 500,000 out, of course, I'm getting 3%. But what I'll do with that 500,000, what do you think? I'm going to put it down on a $2 million building, and I'm going to get 6% on my 500,000. I'm going to get 30,000, and then on the other 1.5 million, I'm going to get 6%. I'm going to get another 90,000 less the money that it cost me, which will be another. What will it be? 93%. In other words, the cost of that money, it's going to be about half. So I'll get another 45 plus 30. I'll get 75,000 a month off that one. Or I'm sorry, 75,000 a year. So you make money on the borrowed money. Okay, this is something that, and you got to watch this video. Watch this video that I just did on Ben Mallah, because basically I kind of broke down his math a little bit better than I think they did. Makes it more understandable. A lot of people were very happy with the graph that I provided. That made it a lot easier to understand. But watch that video, okay? And hey, please like and subscribe. And I got a lot of questions here. Let me get to some of these questions here. And I apologize. Listen, if you guys asked questions way up high, I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Lee, I'm glad you're here. Look, by the way, I got a great mentorship group. I don't have the most followers, but I guarantee you, I've got among the smartest ones on YouTube, because these guys care about making money. They can see through bullshit when they see it, and it's a wonderful thing. Oh, yeah, here we go. Damn it. Sorry, Liberty's asking me because I'm jumping around a little bit. So, yes, I do intend to talk about Listen, on Meet Kevin, let me talk about Meet Kevin for a second, just for a second. Then I'll circle back. On Meet Kevin, he's running for governor. Okay. He's got a video here. Let's see if I can find that video. Just had it. Oh, damn it. Let's just find it real quick. But Meet Kevin he's an impressive dude. And I'll tell you what, he's got kind of his war room together. I was watching this a little bit earlier today, and I'll tell you, this is what you guys should be watching on Meet Kevin, right? And Wikipedia is canceling him. Check this out. Let's open this up.
But the Fox link.
So this is Meet Kevin, and this looks like he's got his garage converted into a war room, or basically his YouTube guys, or his guys that help him with his channel. And
we'll monetize it.
I got to say, I'm really impressed with him. Apparently, he was on Fox News, and he's running with
3 cameras, and we'll be able to record that particular TV. Pretty exciting about the interview yesterday. It was super fun. Did you guys see it posted on the channel?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did a great job.
Incorporated it to the vlog. Oh,
for
good.
today's vlog.
Yeah, let's get that vlog out like ASAP this morning, because I want to go into more daily style, so we get that vlog rolling daily. That's going to play along with the theme of.
But so listen to what he's doing. So look, Kevin is a smart guy. I like I said, I don't particularly think he's the best investor in the world, but I'll tell you what, he is a damn beast. He's a YouTube beast. He's not afraid to try anything. And I'll tell you what, that's what everybody you need to do. Get out of your shell. Listen, nobody is going to ring the bell for you. Nobody's going to, they say the squeaky wheel, right, gets the oil. That's how it works, folks. You got to speak up. You got to talk, and you got to let people know what you want to do. And this guy hustles. So let's watch Meet Kevin here just a little bit. I got him at high speed. He doesn't talk this fast normally, so keep that in mind. But let's just try to cover some ground quickly.
Of the candidacy, which is just full transparency. Take our Fox interview and turn it into 5 1-minute clips. So it's like tunnels. Future school segment, and have each segment labeled, and then do a TikTok, a short. I wonder, does it make sense to maybe do one of those press release things that we did for when we announced for the Fox thing?
Yeah, I think as soon as we did that first press release.
So he's really smart. So he's got this break on Fox News, and now he's parlaying it into 5 1-minute clips. He's going to run them all over social media. And look at that. He's got a nice team here. Everybody's kicking ass and pushing it out. And I'm learning from him. Believe me, he's a great YouTuber. I got different focus. I'm old. I'm already rich. And he's rich too now. But in other words, like some people, and I'm not. And listen, I have high list respect for Kevin. And Kevin, if you get a chance, take a look at Reform Cow. It's an app, reformcow.com, or you can go to citypedia.com, and it's the stuff that Kevin seems to be frustrated with, because the more money you make, you'll see your money get pissed away. He's getting killed on taxes. This is one of the reasons he's talking about moving to Florida. And I know this is what they say: when you buy your first house, Nobody's a Republican until they buy a house, right? Or nobody's a conservative until they buy a house. Once you buy a house, you quickly become a conservative because you realize how screwed you get and how much money gets taken away from you and how much gets pissed away. And I see Kevin experiencing those things as I've watched him grow on YouTube, and he is becoming a conservative. He doesn't even know it. He still calls himself a Democrat. I'll give that another 2 years because the Democrats used to be conservatives back in the Kennedy era, and that's before my time too, but not anymore. It's a loony bin, and it's just sad. But not getting political. But watch this guy. Watch him operate. Everybody, if you want to make money in business, listen. Just watch this video. This alone is better than anything you'll probably ever learn from Grant Cardone on his videos, anyways. And certainly this is free. But watch what he's doing. This is how you operate as a business. You share, you open up, you get a team, you talk about what works, what doesn't work, and you get feedback, and you're going to get some crap feedback, but you throw that away. But that's the thing. I'm always a big devil's advocate. I say, knock my idea down, take it away, hurt me, do what you can. And if you can, great, because I'm learning from it too. But what you do is you hang on to the nuggets, the information that, if somebody can't beat you down, then you probably got a good point going, or you got something to move on. Let's keep watching.
Release that began the snowball effect.
And Newsweek specifically referenced the press release in their article.
True.
And that's kind of what snowballed us. So I don't think it can hurt.
YouTuber.
See that? He's talking about a press release, how that snowballed, right? And believe me, that's what real estate is too, by the way. Once you start get capital, you start making money, you take that money, you got to replace it, put it somewhere else where it keeps going to work, okay? Put it but you watch it. Don't hand it to some idiot that's going to squander it. You take care of it. Some people feel better handing their money to somebody else, and that way if they lose it, they don't have to take responsibility. Say, yeah, I didn't lose it. The guy I trusted did. Well, that ain't going to take care of you. That ain't going to make you sleep good at night. You may not have to take responsibility for it, but guess what? You are taking responsibility for it. It's going to affect you for the rest of your life. So let's keep watching.
Democratic challenger to Newsom gets primetime interview with Fox, right? Because now we're sending this huge message to all of all news companies that read these newswires. They're like, what? Fox covered him? Oh man, now we got, Kennedy of Fox helped us sell the plan. If we now send the Fox, and we put the Fox link in, maybe not even my YouTube link, but the Fox link to the video, because they have it on their website, we send them that link, and it's like, whoa, it's actually the Fox Business link. That could be good.
Kevin, yesterday Graham suggested
See, he's really smart. I give him a lot of credit. So like he said, he sent him a link with the psychology of being, oh wow, he's not just sending his own link. That's a link from Fox. In other words, it's just smart marketing. It's really great psychology. Good for you, Kevin. You're doing a great job. Really, really. Yeah. Nobody's worrying about you, your future. You've got a big, bright future. It's awesome.
we get private security because of all the people driving by. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I got it handled. I put a trash can in the middle of the alley, so that way if anybody tries to stalk us, they get stuck in the trash can, and we're all gonna rate them.
We'll monetize it.
Yeah.
Trash can cam.
Yeah, trash can cam, really.
How are we doing with donations?
I think today we're at 49K, so soon we're gonna be breaking 50, which is really awesome.
Right.
And now we're thinking about doing like maybe a 24-hour donation live stream. Kevin streams an hour longer for every $1,000. For every extra 5,000, a piece of clothing comes off.
All right, vlog, this is the situation. We've been eating out every single day since we've been working on this campaign, and frankly, we're spending a lot of money. So today I decided to bring some leftovers, but we don't have a microwave, so I'm tasked with the mission of setting up the microwave. This is the microwave.
So we're trying to decide for the press release. Do we want to say Fox supports or?
See, I don't know that he's officially running for governor or not, or if he's just doing it for publicity. But either way, it's fantastic. But it also sends a message. Listen. Everybody's abandoning California. It is an absolute shithole. I left there almost 30 years ago for the same reasons, People think it's gone to shit with all the homeless stuff. Yeah, it's been that way. It's been that way for a long time. I remember going to San Francisco about 35, 40 years ago. And I remember my first impression is I look over and there's a very disheveled drug addict, with her tit hanging out, and it's just a mess. There's nothing worse when people try to help, but they're really not helping. So much of the help that you see going out there, it circles back. In other words, when you get a bunch of federal money, and then you get to dole it out to your friends, it's so sinister and disgusting, and it's not for the right reasons, and that's why you wonder why are people living under bridges? Why do they want to buy a hotel? I mean, listen, I'm in town right now. They want to buy hotels and spend about $40,000 maybe it's $55,000 per homeless person to put them in a hotel room, right? You could rent a hotel room for half that, okay? But they have to buy the hotel room and spend double that. It just doesn't. It's like it'd be like burning $100 bills to keep a room warm. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Eagle, I'm in Texas at the moment. I'm living in Texas. I've lived in California. I made a lot of money in California, and anyways. Let's watch a little more of this, and whatever if you guys got some questions, anything you want to talk about real estate, I'm happy to talk to you.
Do we want to use the specific anchor's name? Are we worried that Fox might be upset if we're saying Fox endorses Kevin? Or not really endorses, but supports?
You say Fox Business? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because it's not the organization itself. Do we just say, I think her name was Kennedy?
Are you sending it to
Fox supports 29-year-old Democratic candidate to beat Newsom.
We're including Kevin's name in there. So right now we're doing Fox supports 29-year-old Democratic YouTuber Kevin Paffrath's plan to beat Gavin Newsom. Do we think Fox would be upset about that?
I think the intention of why he even wrote that was the...
Yeah. I don't know if Fox would be. They might like Caitlyn Jenner. Actually, I heard Caitlyn Jenner speaking the other day, and she's certainly a better choice than Gavin. Although anytime anybody puts a D next to the name, I start to worry. But let's keep going.
Dichotomy between Fox and Democrat.
Okay.
I think that's the whole point of it.
All right, let's jump ahead.
Members, use that coupon code down below because I'm not if and leave it. Then when I come back, we can approve that press release. And we'll post that press release, which will be perfect because it's hump day, it's Wednesday, people are looking for content, the market's kind of crappy, but what has anybody done in politics? I mean, big deal, Joe Biden talks, but I haven't heard anything from Jenner, I haven't heard anything from Cox, I haven't heard anything.
So take a look. I want you guys to pay attention here. Look at TV after TV. He's got TVs on almost every wall. Now, why do you suppose that is? It's because they jump on what's trending. You jump on what's trending, and really, this is what Kevin is. Really, this is what his greatest value is. I think this is what a lot of people look to him for as a real estate investor. I think that's a terrible idea. It's easy to take millions of dollars and buy real estate. It's easy to take millions of dollars and buy stocks. He's lost tons of money in stocks. He's lost a lot of money in real estate too, as far as I'm concerned. But what I have seen is. He's just practically printing money as a YouTuber. He's making so much, and he can afford to make these mistakes. But I would hate for somebody young to follow his lead on investing in Tesla or investing in Bitcoin or investing in cryptocurrencies. And I don't know exactly what he does with that stuff. But when I hear somebody's lost $1 million or $2 million, I saw that earlier, lost $2 million investing in Tesla, or lost 400 grand. Somebody else lost 400 grand, on. It's an insignificant amount when you're wealthy to lose $500,000, $1 million, $2 million. It still hurts. It hurts your heart. It hurts your heart. It hurts your ego because you're not supposed to lose money. You're supposed to be good at investing when you're a good investor. But when you're somebody tiny, and I'm talking about new, and you've got maybe $20,000, and then you follow somebody's lead and you put in whatever $5,000 and you lose half of it. That's a huge blow when you're 18, 15, or 20 or 30, or if that represents most of your income or most of your savings, that's a devastating blow, and it's not good. It's just terrible. So look, I'm going to tell you guys right now, again, if you're interested in real estate, I made my first $1 million by the time when I was 28, and that was, golly, how long ago was that? That was 30 years ago. So 30 years ago, I made my first $1 million, but I had a blast. From 19 to 28, making that $1 million, and I had a great lifestyle, and I lived in beautiful homes. I've had awesome cars, and had and I had money, and I was young, and it was pretty fun. And then as I got older, now I had a beautiful wife, started buying cars, and started having babies, and then now I've got kids that have been all the way through college. I write checks for college. I write checks for cars. It's insignificant. That kind of money is insignificant. That's like small stuff. College, no big deal. New cars, no big deal. Houses, no big deal. Buy houses, no problem. But it's that beginning stuff that your money is the biggest tool you have. You can't squander your phone capital. You absolutely can't. You can't do it. Ego one, you know what? I might do phone consultations, and one of the reasons I consider it is not because I see Ben, but I can tell you right now, best deal you can get is go get in my mentorship. You get in my mentorship for $1,000. For $1,000, and you're going to get a 1-month crash course. And it's not everything I know, but when you get in the mentorship, you're going to get so much more than what's in the book. The book is awesome. Here's the book again, by the way. Get the book. This is a no-brainer. Question, you could be reading it right now. You can read the first 3 chapters free, or get it on Kindle right now for like $9 or $10. Get it in paperback for $20. And believe me, it's a roadmap for making money. It's that simple. And and believe me, last thing I care about, the money I make on the book is insignificant. I don't care about the money that I make on the book. I can't hand it to you. I'm not going to put it. I'm not going to put a stamp on it and send it to you for free. But believe me, selling it at $10 and $20, people say there's more good information in my book than there is in a $10,000 course that that Chris Crone or somebody else puts out. And I know it is. I know it's true because I've actually made the money. And you can tell when you listen. I know when people are talking about real estate, whether they're full of shit and don't know what they're doing. And that's most of the guys on YouTube. Just so you know, it's just it is. If they really know what they're talking about, they're going to show you specific homes that they bought. They're going to show you the money. Just like I walked the street and showed you guys earlier. Here's $2.8 million I made in a neighborhood in a short time. And by the way, that center that you saw me buy, that I just showed you that I paid $1.3 million, that $1.3 million came from a building that I paid $240,000 for, and I just sold it for $1,725,000. So I made $1.5 million on another building. Okay, that's the $1.5 million that I made represents the money that I put down on that other property. So this is the thing. Anyways, you got to learn to be able to discern fakes from the real deal. I'm the real deal. Got no problem proving it out. In fact, I'll put my record against anybody. I'll put my investments against any other YouTuber that wants to challenge me and say, let's see who's made more money on individual properties. I'm happy to do that. If you want to say who's a better teacher, I'll put the people in my mentorship against anybody. Chris Cardone and Grant Cardone. You can call this a challenge. Show me your investors. Show me the people that have made money. I'll gladly put people against you that have been in my mentorship just in the last year, and I guarantee you they've made more money than the people that have made money in a Grant Cardone class or a Chris Crone class. And I'd be happy if anybody would take me up on that challenge. It's open anytime, and that goes for any YouTuber, by the way. And if somebody does, man, my hat's off, and I will promote you because if you can beat my record, then awesome. It's better for the people. So let's keep watching. Hey, by the way, again, please hit that subscribe button. I forget to do this stuff. That's why my channel does not grow quick enough. I don't ask for it enough. But, yeah, hit that subscribe button, please. It helps the channel, and it'll help more people because more people that find out about what I got to offer, the more you benefit. I've been making these videos for 4 years for free. And the mentorship, of course, I charge money for. But listen, here's the deal. When you take my mentorship, it's a mentorship. It's not, I don't pay somebody to talk to you. I do the talking. Every Saturday, I do a 2-hour class on top of all the information that you already get. And it's all taught by me. Everything you get is taught by me. 100% taught by me. And when you get into a deal, believe me, I'm a competitive guy. I don't like to lose. I like to win. Anybody can tell you. Liam, who's just in here a little while ago, Garrett, anybody that is, and I got all kinds of great students. Listen, when they got a deal on the line, I help them close it. I'm like, let's make it happen. And I mean, I work as hard for them as I do for myself. I don't like to lose. It's like getting a fish on the line, right? You don't want to lose it. And anyways, and believe me, with real estate, if you know the difference between a hook that has a barb, once you get it hooked, fish can't get away. But you got a hook that doesn't have a barb, and that's real estate, okay? Get the hook. You got to bring it in, right? You got to bring it in. You got to be careful not to lose it. You got to set. And I'm talking about just you got to be there first, and when you're there second, you got to be waiting for number one to screw up, and you'll take it over. You'll take the deal over from them. But anyways. So I know I've been all over the place. Look, Kevin, good luck with your candidacy if that's real. In fact, I've already spent $100 on you, Kevin, by the way. ReformCow.com. If you think about this, folks, Reform, COW, Cities of the World. Check it out. Go get the app. It's on it's in Android, Google Play, and it's on iOS. And I just opened up Ventura, the city of Ventura. I dedicated to Meet Kevin and against Weenie Baby Newsom, I think he called him. I think that's how I put on the dedication. But that's my gift to Kevin. And but yeah, folks, if you got the app and you don't want to be too apathetic. You want to get involved. You got to help control the crap that's going on in your cities. It's very important you get involved because it's taking you away from your money. You're getting buried in debt, especially Generation Z, Generation Zero, I call it, because you're getting killed with debt. Millennials too, you're clobbered with debt. I'm in debt too, okay, but I got money. But anyways, so let's go to some questions here. Anybody got a real estate question? Anything you want to talk about? Let's talk about. Okay, here's one right here. What do you think about forbearance and the eviction policy and whatnot? Do you think there's going to be any issues? Oh yeah, 100%. Listen, this is why I'm selling everything. I'm selling everything, anything I plan to sell in the next 5 years, and primarily I'm talking about houses. The houses are at a premium. Houses are at a premium. Interest is low. Supplies are short. Building costs are very high right now. It's been a perfect storm for values to be jacked up like crazy. And of course I'm going to cash in on it. In fact, give you an example. I'm selling, I'm not going to show you the houses, but I'll just explain. I got one house I'm selling for probably $500,000. I got another house I'm selling for $700,000. There's $1.2 million. I've got another house I can sell for $400,000 or $500,000. Okay, so there's 1.7 million right there between 4 houses. Okay, these are all houses that I didn't pay very much for them. I bought them right. I'm making money on them, but I'm going to take 1.7 million in houses that probably only makes about $30,000. Because this is the deal. When houses get above 300,000. The economies of scale are such, they don't make much good money again. What happens is the value goes up, but your cap rate goes down. So the more they're worth, the less they make per dollar they're worth. So at some point, like in other words, a $100,000 home will rent for $1,000 a month. A $200,000 home will rent for almost $2,000 a month. A $300,000 home rents for about $2,200 a month. And this is just ballpark stuff. But you get where I'm going. Every $100,000 that property goes up, it incrementally, it's not pro rata. It goes down. In other words, the return on investment keeps going down, down, down. So pretty soon you can start out with something that's a 7-8% cap rate, meaning you're getting 8% on your money invested when it's $100,000. But when it goes up to $400,000, now you're getting like a 2% cap rate, 4 times less money made on the actual asset, what it's worth when you market to value. That's the problem. It's the beauty of both. I mean, homes are an emotional purchase. That's why they can go up so high in value, but they're not a business purchase. So the things that regulate the value, like with commercial property, multifamily property, what controls the value is how much the asset makes. And, an asset, just say on average, whatever a property's worth, it better put off at least 6%. And that controls the value of the asset and makes it why you would buy it or not buy it. But with houses, that all goes out the door because you're not buying it to make money. You're buying it because you want to live there, because of the schools, because it's where your kids or your family lives, or your parents are nearby, or whatever. That's what happens with that. So, and I probably missed something here, but let's keep reading. Yeah, Newsom is a scumbag. I agree. I mean, it's just so disgusting. I always felt of a house as a place to live. Actual investment properties are different. They are 100%. But you know what? Well, you can buy houses. You can buy houses because they become somebody else's home, and they're the ones that'll pay like crazy for it. That's why so many of the houses I just showed you, I paid $100,000 to $200,000 for, and I'm selling them for $500,000 to $700,000. Quite a spread, right? But on I got off my example. So the 3 houses that I'm selling that are going to go for $1.7 million, I'm buying another building right now for $1.7 million. That $1.7 million, the day, and I'm doing a reverse 1031, which is a different story. We'll get into that later. Listen, if you want to know about 1031s, reverse 1031s, sure, subscribe to my channel, and you'll learn about all kinds of stuff you probably never even heard of. But what I'm doing is I'm taking that $1.7 million that I'll get from these 3 houses that make only about $30,000 a year, and I'm buying a building that the day I close, the person that's renting from me, he's staying in the building. I'm buying it from the owner. He's staying there, and he's also signing a lease this day we close. I have a lease from him at the same time, and I'll be netting $12,000 a month. That's $144,000. So now I'm taking those 3 houses that bring in about $30,000 net after taxes and all the other stuff. And now I'm going to have an asset that brings in $144,000 a year. Quite a difference. That's why I love commercial property. I love houses for buying and flipping. If you buy it low and you feel good about it, you can hold it for a little, speculate, let it go up, and then dump it, and then turn it into cash flow. That's what I've done for a long time. Hey, Fosh, glad to see you in here. What's your strategy in today's market? Everything is overpriced. Well, you sell it. When it's overpriced, you sell it. That's why I'm selling it. I'm selling all my stuff. I know it's overpriced. Oh, shit, no. Listen, why would you wait for a correction? I mean, you're talking about maybe buying, I guess. Look, you always buy under market. This is my number one rule. Whatever it's worth today, you buy for less than it's worth. No exceptions. You got to buy it for 30% under market. In today's market, you might even want to buy it. I mean, if you can flip it right away, no problem. Buy it for 30% under market, flip it, and make your 30%. You're getting really close now to when all this forbearance shit's going to end. And so you could buy a property today, and this stuff could change next week, and then all of a sudden, you better move really fast. And there's a chapter in my book called Leapfrogging. Remember that? Leapfrogging. In fact, subscribe to the channel right now and write this down. Leapfrogging. It's one of the most important lessons you're going to take from me. Leapfrogging is something I utilize when I'm buying a property and it's real low. I leapfrog above everybody else, and I pay more than everybody else, even though it's substantially less than what it's worth. That's leapfrogging on a purchase. Now, on a sale, when the market's going down the tubes, a little bit different game. Instead of following the market down slow, like everybody taking 10 grand a month off their house until pretty soon it's way the hell down here, what I do is I leapfrog and I take 50 off the value of my property. I sell it for 50,000 less. And now I'm 20, 30,000 below market. My property sells. But guess what? Within a month or two, everything else is worth what I sold it for. And then it continues to go down the hole after that. Very important. Leapfrogging. Don't forget it. It's a key chapter. It's one that'll make you a lot of money too. The other thing I'll tell you about that, Fosh, is I have a mantra. If you're ever in a meditator, meditators, they have what they call a mantra, and it's either a word or a sound they repeat. It helps relax their mind. The only reason I know about it is my dad. I had a single dad raise me, and my dad. He liked a girl. He found a girl he really liked, and she was a transcendental meditator. And of course, so then me and him became one too. We had to be, because he was after her. And anyways, long story short, I became a meditator, but it didn't really stick with me. But I do have a mantra. My mantra is easy to do, hard to undo. Easy to do, hard to undo. So remember that. That's as important as leapfrogging. Things are hard to undo, okay? You make a bad investment, you're screwed for a very long time. You make a mistake, it can stick with you for life, right? All of it, right? You get careless with a girl when you're a young man, and all of a sudden you got a baby that you didn't expect. That's what I'm talking about. Easy to do, hard to undo. You can't undo it, some of it. So, like I say, you got to be very careful with your money. Last thing I want to do is see any young people or anybody that has limited income. I don't want to see you guys get hurt. I don't want to see you get screwed. I don't want to see you make a mistake that's going to haunt you for the next 10 years. Miss out. I mean, that's the problem. When you follow some fake guru and take bad advice, you just screwed yourself out of 10 years. Well, 10 years is precious, especially if it's before you're 40 or 50. You get a lot more energy when you're 20, 30, 40 years old than you do when you're 50, 60 years old. And, so anyways. And, hey, David, yep, easy to do, hard to undo. Yep. Yes, believe me, it's so important. Remember that. Listen, that's a gift. Trust me. That's the best advice. I mean, if you ask me for one bit of advice, that would be one of the, and really it's just think it through. It's like saying, think it through. Okay. There's consequences with bad decisions, horrible consequences. Well, they just screw you forever. Okay. We'll be using an interview this week. Easy to do, hard to undo. There you go. Yep. Glad to hear it, Tux. Okay. Tom, what are your thoughts on tenant-friendly states? It is a no. Fosh, I mean, look, I've got hundreds of tenants. Okay. I had tenants that had some tough times, but nobody burned me on rent. Nobody didn't pay me. I worked with some. I gave a break to some that were in businesses. I've got one or two people that were in houses. I gave a break, but nobody just stopped paying me. I'm glad I don't have lazy ass tenants that are just trying to take advantage of the stimulus and screw everything else. It's a wonderful thing. So, all right, let's talk about real estate. Who's buying something? Who's got a question? What's one of your fears? Listen, you want to be in real estate. You definitely want to be in real estate, but it is a little bit of a scary time because we've had this huge uptick in values, and it's kind of false. It's because of the shortage, and then when this stuff goes back on the market, it's going to fall. I guarantee it's going to fall, folks. Now, you could sell your house today. Listen, I sold the house last week, or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, $575,000. I could probably get $625,000 for it today. Do I feel bad? Hell no, because I take that $575,000 and I bought something else with it already that's making me more money. But I would feel a lot worse if I held on to it and it went up to $625,000 and then it went down to $450,000. Okay, that's the problem when you hang on. You might want to be a speculator. That's great, but don't think you're holding on for it just to go up. You may be hanging on to it and taking a roller coaster ride down, and it ain't going to be fun. And it takes, again, easy to do, hard to undo. And here's another one I'm going to give everybody here that's interested in real estate. These are for you folks that actually own real estate and you're thinking about selling. Some people become very proud of their property. Oh, I'm not going to sell it unless I get at least this much. Well, here's the deal. You have to ask yourself this question, and this is super important. If you're not selling it, you're buying it. If you're not selling it, you're buying it. Remember that, because think about it. I'm not going to sell that for $500,000. It's worth at least $550,000. Well, then ask yourself, would you buy it for $500,000? Would you pay $500,000 for that house? And the answer, especially if you paid $100,000 for it or $200,000 for it, the answer is not no, it's hell no. You wouldn't buy it. So listen, if the answer is hell no, I wouldn't buy it for $500,000, but you're refusing to sell it for $500,000? Okay, guess what? You just bought it. You just bought it from yourself. So just keep that in mind. All right. Hey, Double E. Actually, I know Double E. He's somebody who's been watching the channel for a long time. Took him forever. He finally bought the book. Did you ever finish that book? Did you get through the book, Double E? He's a doctor too, by the way. And Dave. Okay, David, would you recommend door knocking? Yeah, listen, this is what you do. When you want a piece of real estate, you do everything. You do anything. You knock on the door. You see a sign sitting on the side of the road. You can't read it. You pull over, you get out, walk over, and get a close look at it and read it. Because if you can't read it, nobody else could. And guess what? 99% of the people are dodos. They just drive by. You get out. You pull over. Listen, I'm the guy that is running late to an appointment that turns around to go back and take a picture of a sign that I couldn't read. And I'm the first one to make a phone call. In fact, I'm making a phone call before I pull back out into traffic. Oh man, Double E, come on. You've had that book for 3 weeks. It takes 3.5 hours to read the book. And you're almost done. You're almost done. How busy of a doctor are you? Come on. Do it between phone calls. I know you're doing telemed. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, Brian wrote, Tom, what is the best investment for someone new to buy in real estate? My book, number one. Okay, that's small. That's $10. Get my book. And I'm not just saying this so I can make $7 off you. I could care less about the $7. Brian, get my book. It's going to answer that question and about 100 more that you don't have, that you should have. Super important. Get the book. Because, listen, I've answered so many of the same questions 100 times that finally I just had to say, screw it. Get the damn book. Because I know when people ask certain questions, I either know they don't have the book or they haven't read the book or they have the book and haven't read it. So, all right, Bill D, I'm almost done. It is, well, just a few chapters left. Oh, good for you, Bill. Glad to hear it. If you drive by a boarded up house, hell yeah. Yeah, listen, if a house is boarded up, listen, this is something that people do and they shouldn't do it. Okay, listen, always it's a good idea. If you see a house that's screwed up, the boarded up, cars parked in the yard. The blinds are tore up. One of the things I look for, you'll see a window open and the kids walk through it like it's a damn door. Okay. Those are signs of a effed up property. It could be a screwed up owner that lives there. It could be a screwed up landlord that doesn't give a shit. He's got terrible tenants. Those are opportunities for sure. For sure they are. But guess what? You can buy a house that's perfect. You can walk into a house that looks like it's brand new from 1970 because the people took immaculate care of it, and they want to sell it to you, and they want to sell it to you under market. That's the best. That's far better. You don't have to fix up nothing. Yeah, maybe you can update it. You want to update it? Sure, go ahead and update it. But when you can walk, and listen, I have a beautiful lake house, okay? I say it's beautiful. It's got paneling. It's got paneling walls. It's got cheesy looking glass in the cheesy wallpaper too. Weird wallpaper from the 60s. It's from the 60s or late 70s actually, about early 70s. These mirrors on the wall, like square one foot by 1 foot panels with gold. This is stuff that I can remember when I was a little kid. Okay, that you'd see, but it's perfect. I didn't even want to touch it. In fact, a buddy of mine, a lawyer, he inherited a house, and it was full of 1970s or 1960s era furniture. Chest of drawers, gaudy looking weird stuff. I said, I'll take it. And the reason I did is because it matches the house perfectly. So I moved all this old crappy furniture, perfect condition, don't get me wrong, into my 1970s lake house. And it's just kind of like stepping back in time, which is kind of funny. If you haven't seen there's a show called Queen's Gambit on Netflix, Queen's Gambit. And it's actually very good. It was actually really entertaining. I actually watched the second time with my kids and my girlfriend. But what I was going to say about it is they got this period time, it's in like the 60s, and the gal is dressed to the hilt and all the, and they have these great locations of old hotels, and everything's just perfectly 1960s inside. It's really, really cool to see. I recommend watching it just for that, if nothing else. So, okay, Fosh. My biggest fear is getting in over my head. Well, Fosh, do you have the book? Fosh, do you have my book? Man, I know Fosh's name. Do you have my book? Because you don't get in over your head. Listen, he's talking about getting in over his head. Listen, if the mistake that is made is when you have fear. If you have fear, you're probably doing something wrong. Okay? When I'm afraid I'm not going to get it. I'm not afraid that I'm going to get it and make a mistake. I'm afraid I'm not going to get it. I'm afraid when I'm buying it, I know I'm buying it under market. I know I'm going to make money. That's how sure I am about what I buy. I know I'm going to make money. I'm not you guys that buy stuff that you're afraid, it's because you're not paying attention. Like, well, here I go. Hope it works. And that is like pathetic. Don't do it. You want to, listen, the simplest way to put it is this. Everybody buys a car, right? You buy a car. Well, before you buy a car, you shop. And you look around, and you go, okay, it's 10 grand here. This one's 12 grand. You're buying a used car, whatever. And you get an idea what, the car you're looking for, the year, the miles. Okay, that's worth about this. Well, then all of a sudden, everything's about 10 grand, let's say. But you find one for $6,000. Well, what do? You buy it because it's $4,000 under market. You buy it. Okay, well, that's how I look at real estate. It's like looking for that used car because guess what? Everything real estate is used. Earth has been here a long time. Land has changed hands. Everything's used. So when you buy a used car, how is that common with real estate? It's used. It has the potential to be completely paid for by somebody else, and it can be sold for half of what it's worth because somebody else has already paid for the whole damn thing. That's the beauty of buying used stuff. You can make a lot of money on used stuff. Okay, Fosh, stick to buying used stuff till you get your confidence up. I say flip anything. I mean that. I bought a fire truck and sold it for $30,000. I paid $11,000, sold it for $30,000. I bought all kinds of shit like that. That's what you can do. Buy under market, sell it for more. But back to my my example about a car. if you're looking and looking and looking, and finally you go, oh, wow, here's a great deal, and you buy a car for $6,000 that's worth $10,000. Well, you know everything about that car. Just keep looking for that same damn car. Just keep looking until you find another one for $6,000. But don't keep that one. Sell it for 10 and make 4. It's that simple. That's what I do with houses. If I put in a lot of time looking at a neighborhood, and I know what, just like you're looking at cars, I know what houses were worth. I know what industrial buildings are worth. I know what commercial strip centers are worth. I know what apartments are worth. I know what all that shit's worth because I look all the time. And then when all of a sudden I find an opportunity, somebody wants to sell this below market, I say, I'll take it. There's no hesitation because I know what I'm looking at. I know value. And that's what you learn from me. In my book and in my mentorship and in my videos here, you have to know value. And when you know value, you have confidence, and you're not going to be afraid of going over your head. You're going to be afraid of not getting it. You're going to be afraid of somebody else is going to, take your treasure from you because that's your money. You're going to make a ton of money, So that's what you got to get into, and that's what I recommend for you. It's the easiest way to become wealthy, buying real estate or any used item for that matter, but real estate is you graduate. I used to buy, I'd buy a bike, I'd buy a go-kart, I'd buy a mini bike, I'd buy it and I'd sell it for more. I wanted a mini bike, I wanted a go-kart, so I knew how damn expensive they were. So when I got one cheap, I knew I had a deal, just like you would with a car, and sell it for more. And then ultimately you graduate to houses and duplexes, and don't get hung up on those, because I buy anything and everything. I don't care if it's a commercial, land, houses, whatever. It doesn't matter. I buy based on what it's worth, and whatever it's worth, I'm going to pay a lot less than it's worth, and I'm going to flip it. And that's what you guys should do too. It's the easiest way to get wealthy. And here's the deal. 90% of you probably don't have that much money, because guess what? 90% of the world doesn't have that much money. So it's a fair deal to say, and I'm telling you, I used to be you. I used to be somebody that didn't have money. I was 19 years old, hair down to here. I wasn't stupid, but I didn't have money. And I didn't come from a family with money either. So I didn't, and that wouldn't have helped me anyways, to be quite honest. People that are born into money, they don't know what to do with it. They can be spoiled. I got to be careful with my kids. Thank God. I think I've raised them right. They seem really well adjusted, and I'm thankful for that. But okay, so, and hey, Randall, I'm going to follow up with you on that, Randall. I want to hear about that warehouse. But again, you're all the same in as much as nobody has a deal. So it doesn't matter somebody with me with tens of millions, or somebody out there with, $1 million, or somebody there with zero. Guess what? None of us have a deal right now. So you with whoever has zero or not much, you get the deal. That's what you need. You need the deal. And that just means finding something that's under market, agreeing to buy it. You agree to buy it. Even though you don't have the money, you agree to buy it. And now you got 30 days to come up with the money. Well, what do? You go tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, Tom, I got this property. It's worth $1 million. I can buy it for $300,000. You want to be my partner? Well, the answer is no. I don't want to be your partner. But here's $100,000. Go away. You make $100,000 for finding a good deal. I'm going to go take your deal, and I'm going to go make $500,000. Okay? That's how it works. But you do that enough times, and you make that $100,000. Listen, after you'd make $100,000, the next one you're going to buy without me. And that's what I did. I looked and tied up properties that I could not afford to buy by myself, and I got a partner. And in my search and looking for a partner, first I got partners, right? I got partners. Hey, I found a great deal. Okay, they put in the money, we buy it, we sell it, I make 7, they make 7. When we buy it, I make 10, they make 10. Well, now I got 17. So the next deal that comes along, if I can buy it with $17,000 down, think I'm going to call him? Hell no. Buy it by myself. And now I take my 17 and I just turned it into 30. Now I got 30. So now I find another deal that takes $250,000. That's the purchase price. Well, I got $30,000. I got maybe $40,000. I can't buy it. It's not enough. I don't have enough. I don't qualify. I'm too young. I don't have enough, history. So what happens? I go to somebody that's got money, like me now. But I go to my old boss. Hey, John, I got a great deal. Let's buy this thing. He comes out. Okay, let's take a look at what you got, Tommy. People call me Tommy. Family calls me Tommy. And he says, well, I walk him through it. He goes, you're right, Tommy. He says, this thing is worth probably $250,000 or $220,000. I can't remember exactly now. And he goes, and I said, well, let's buy it and we'll make some money. I'm only paying $120,000. We'll split it. We'll make great money. And he says, well, I don't want a partner. And I'm like, huh? What do you mean you don't want a partner? And he says, how about I give you $20,000 and I just buy it by myself? And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. Okay. I took 20 grand that day and I'm done. And now I got 20 grand. Now he's going to walk away and he's going to make $50,000 to $70,000. Awesome. That's great. Make it. I got 20 and I didn't have anything in the game except I found the deal. That's what's in front of everybody here that's watching. You got to have the deal. Don't worry about the money. The money will come. You'll find the money. You find the deal, you'll find the money. And believe me, it could be so lucrative. You can't even believe it. And, I'll tell you real quick here. I know a guy. I didn't know him personally, but I'll tell you the story. He was partners with another guy. They were in a construction business. Well, one of them is eating his breakfast. Same place I've eaten at breakfast many times. He's sitting there eating his breakfast, and he hears two farmers are talking. Well, you know what they're talking about? They're talking about another farmer that died, and that his farm's going up for sale Sunday. And there's going to be somebody there from Century 21. Okay, somebody that specializes in houses is going to be out there to help sell this farm. So he goes over and talks to guys, figures out where this thing is. Well, he goes there on a Sunday. Guess what? Nobody's there. The only people that are there, there's the two kids from Oklahoma and the agent that doesn't know shit about real estate. And he's like, he knows what that land is worth. He's got a really good idea. And they say, well, what do you want for it? He goes, well, you got 160 acres. I'll give you $160,000. And brother and sister look at you. They sound good to me. Let's do it. It's free money. Well, they were estranged from their dad. They obviously didn't know what the property's worth. So they sold it for $160,000. Property's worth $5.3 million. It was worth 5.3. This guy could hardly sleep for 3 months, okay? Because he had to wait to go through the probate. Well, when the dust settled, he got the property. He sold the first half of the 160 acres for $2.8 million. He sold the other half for $2.5 million. So he made over $5 million by getting the deal. Okay, he just got the deal. And I don't know where he got the 160. He might have had it, or maybe he didn't. But it wouldn't have been hard to get, I can tell you right now. And guess what he did? After he sold the property, he told his partner, he said, partner, you can have the truck, you can have the entire business, it's all yours. I'm out of here. And you know what he did? He left and he went to Oregon, and I heard he bought it. He took some of that cash and he bought 11,000 acres, and then he resold that and then also made another pile of money. But again, this was a guy that was modest means, in his early 30s, and that was about 35 years ago. So things can happen. I've got one of my own mentees, as I call them, people in my mentorship. Let me bring this up real quick. Actually, check this out. Watch this video, folks. This is really cool. You're in for a treat. This is something we just put together. So this is awesome because this is from one of my Zoom meetings on a Saturday where I had one of my mentees in my mentorship group figured out he's a millionaire. Well, watch this.
So it's really a perfect storm for making money in that respect.
But in 1 year, his portfolio has gone from zero to $1.6 million. You would have got 30, 22?
Yeah, I think I got 27, yeah.
27 properties. He got 27 properties. John, you have to buy that. That is a great property.
I just closed on 2 houses yesterday. It's worth $250. I bought that one for $170.
My first millionaire student. I don't want to screw around. I don't want to play games going back and forth. What is the absolute bottom dollar? And I'll tell you if I'm. So anyways, I'm just telling you, it's been so gratifying. The guys that have joined my group, I have primarily men. I have some women too in the mentorship, but I'm like 99% of the people in my mentorship and the people that follow me on this channel are men. But Ron just kicked ass. You get a chance, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. You can see these over here on the right here. These are all people that have made money, that have been in the class, and this is all in less than a year. Great stories. Eric kicked ass. He's got a trailer park. He's got 34 acres. He's going to make a couple $100,000 on it, looks like. He's been buying more stuff. Ron has just been a rock star. Liam, too. So, look, hey, I think I've been on here enough. Just want to say thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps my channel. I try to give as much honest information as I possibly can. Got no interest in screwing anybody or taking anybody's money. If anything, I'll take money out of my pocket to help people to make money. I'm not built to take money from people that are getting started. It's just not what I want to do. If my legacy is going to be helping people make money, and I'll die a happy man, okay? So, hey, thanks for watching, and again, like, subscribe, all that other good stuff, and please, in the comment, put any questions, any content you want me to get into, or you got any fake gurus you want me to take a look at, I'll take a look at them. You got any questions? Oh, hey, wait a minute, Randall. Here we go. Randall said, I'm in the process of building a $10 million warehouse project in Dallas. I build way over the top with quality, but my stuff is never for sale. Well, Randall, sounds like you're doing all right. Build a $10 million property and keep it for yourself. Good for you. And that's the other thing. And Randall, I'm a builder too, by the way. So, and that's the beauty of, especially if you're a good builder, it's important that you be a good builder. When you build for yourself, you kind of know what breaks. You got a history of seeing what's weak and what doesn't work as well, and you build it. Make it bulletproof for yourself. I go overkill on iron gates. I go overkill on just about anything I do for myself. That's just how it is. In fact, right now, I wish I could show you around in here. Yeah, it'd be too much work. I'll show you in the studio. I've been in my studio here. I got all kinds of steel structures hanging for, hanging lights and different things. It's way overkill for what I do. Most of my stuff you've seen me doing out of my car with an iPhone. But I've got awesome equipment here, and I've got a beautiful machine shop. I got all kinds of cool stuff. But anyways, hey, thanks for watching. Tom G, thanks for popping in. Good to see you in here. And but all you folks that know, hit that subscribe button. Promise you'll learn a lot. And we got great content. I've got my new guys in the studio, Darius and Ryan. They're doing a great job on my videos. They did that one you just saw, and but they built a beautiful video that on my commercial strip center. That video I think is going to release tomorrow morning. Is that one going to release tomorrow morning, Ryan? Okay, so tomorrow morning you'll see a great one. You'll see my latest acquisition, and then I got another one coming right behind that. So that's it. I'll see you guys later. Thanks.